Okay, hey everybody. Gonna build off Neil's little tutorial for figure 8 and give you the guitar tabs for it in this video. This is a fun song to play. You don't even really need rhythm guitar to make it sound good because you're kind of hitting bass notes on the electric and then playing little licks and then hitting other bass notes, so it kind of, you serve as your own rhythm. So that's fun. Yeah, what you're gonna need to do first is put a capo on 1 and that'll turn your low E string into an F, but we want to get that to an E flat, so it's like drop D with a capo on, if that makes sense. So let's drop it way down. For all my tone bros out there too, using the MXR carbon copy and analog course to get that buttery tone that everybody wonders about. Alright. So I'll start with the first riff. I'll just play it for you and then I'll explain it, okay? It's like this. Alright, that's how you play it, but to break it down even more, first you're going to hit what is the A string, but it's now a B flat. Just hit that open, and then you're going to go to, I'm going to call it the 2nd fret, even though it's technically the 3rd, it's just 2 up from the capo. 2nd fret, you bar the bottom 3 strings and put your finger up to the 4th fret, and you're kind of just playing all those like they're a bit of a chord, so bottom note, and then it's hard to get the angle, but yeah, pinky on, pinky off, and then you hit the low E string, which is now an E flat. So right there, you're putting your finger on the 13th, middle finger on the 13th fret of the D string, index finger on the 12th fret of the G string, and the 15th fret of the B string with your pinky. And you go down from the 15th fret on the B string to the 13th fret, and then down to the 11th on the B, and back up to the 13th. Alright, and then you're going to go back down the neck to the 2nd fret on the A string, and you're going to do kind of the same thing you did before, except this time you're barring all 5 strings, everything but the low E, or low E flat in this case. So what you're doing there is kind of similar to the first move, but then you're going from the 2nd fret to the 5th fret on the B string. You're doing that little, and then once you do that, you pull off from that 5th fret to the 2nd fret on the B string, and then hit the 4th fret on the G string. And then you're going back to that low E flat E string, and this time you're going to the 16th fret on the D string, 15th fret on the G string, and 18th fret on the B string. And so it's the same shape as before, you're just a few more frets up, but you go. And it's a bit of a weird move. I like this move a lot, but it took a second for me to get the fingering down perfectly. So that's similar, but then you kind of make this, little chord, which is the 15th fret on the B string, 16th fret on the G string, and 16th fret on the D string. And yet you slide that B string down and slide into this chord. Yeah. Which ends up being 15th fret of the D string, 14th of the G, and 13th of the B. Okay, I hope all this is making sense. It barely makes sense to me, but that's okay. We're doing our best. And then the singing starts, and you're just gonna hit that open A string. and then hit the 4th fret of the A string, which is a D, and then you're gonna go okay, so what that is you're hitting the 2nd fret of the A string and the G string, and you're hitting those, the A, the D, and the G strings, and then you add kind of the B string on, just the open note, and then 2nd fret of the B string. And then you make this chord, which is going to be 3rd fret of the D string, 2nd of the G, and 3rd of the B. It's a fun chord. Play it with the open E string below. And then you're just kind of like bouncing down the chord, if that makes sense. And then let go of that pinky and move that chord 1 fret down. And do that little like pull off hammer on thing with your pinky. And then you're back to that note, and that's the 2nd iteration when you're going towards the pre-chorus. So again, you're just kind of floating down the chord, picking down it, and then going from the 2nd to the 3rd on the D string. And then the pre-chorus has 2nd with no guitar in it, and I don't have a volume pedal on me right now, but you use a volume pedal, and you go up to the 15th fret of the G and the B string, and 13th fret of the E string, and then you make that little chord and pick through it. And then you move the G string note from the 15th to the 14th. And then you make this chord. This is a fun one. Get ready for this. It is the 15th of the G, 14th of the B, and 13th of the E string. And you're going to play every, all the strings when you play this chord. So again, that's... and that adds some drama, which is always good. And then you're going to bar the top 3 strings on the 8th fret, and you're going to do this little lick. And basically that's just going from that first note on the G string I hope that makes sense. I'm going to do it even slower. And then you're going to slide this bar up to the 11th fret. And that's just like playing between the 11th and 13th fret on the high E string. And you kind of like slide it down, because we're getting ready to drop into the chorus, which is the first riff that I showed you. I think it's a slightly different variation, but yeah, I'll play that pre-chorus real quick so you get an idea of how it's all flowing together, okay? Now we're back to the beginning. And then at the end of the chorus, it kind of does this move where it slides from the 13th fret of the D and B strings and the 12th fret of the G string. And you kind of do this thing that you did in the, I'm pretty sure it's the same thing you did in the verse. Pretty much. But it's just 12 frets up. So got to kind of figure out what you did down there and transpose it to up here. And yeah, it just keeps going like that. It's a simple song. It's a really fun one to play. I hope this was helpful, And thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good day.